The Liquor Lab podcast is a Liquor Lab production. YouTube, subscribe to the Liquor Lab YouTube channel. On YouTube, search Liquor Lab, click subscribe. You'll get all access to clips, podcasts, all of our content. Again, YouTube, Liquor Lab, or go to liquorlab.com and click the YouTube icon. Now open for business, the Liquor Lab merch store. Visit shop.liquorlab.com, go to the homepage, liquorlab.com. The link is there. Direct to the store, you'll see the Liquor Lab logo t-shirt, 100% organic. You'll see the Liquor Lab logo hoodie, 85% organic. And just added Liquor Lab Instagram privacy settings tee. Very excited about these products. Visit liquorlab.com, shop.liquorlab.com, or even tap View Shop in the Liquor Lab Instagram profile at Liquor Lab. Very excited about these products. Shop.liquorlab.com and support the Liquor Lab. This is the part of the Liquor Lab podcast where I need your help. Subscribe, rate, and share. Subscribe, rate, and share. Subscribe, rate, and share. Every podcaster says it. We need it, though, especially the Liquor Lab podcast. Subscribe, rate, and share. If you're listening, post it in an Instagram story. Post it in a Facebook story. Take a screen capture of the episode you're listening to. Post it in your feeds. Share it on Twitter, stories, Facebook, WhatsApp. Share it. Subscribe, rate, and share to the Liquor Lab podcast. Thank you for all your support. Everyone who has subscribed, rated, and share, keep it going. Subscribe, rate, and share. Instagram. Follow the Liquor Lab on Instagram. Search Liquor Lab or go to liquorlab.com and click on the Instagram icon on the homepage. Follow us, like our content, mention friends in our posts, share our stories. Liquor Lab on Instagram. Again, search Liquor Lab or go to liquorlab.com and click on the Instagram icon.
Come on. Love my girl. She looking good. Come on. One more. 5 to 1, baby. 1 in 5. No one here.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Liquor Lab podcast. Thank you for joining me. I want to start off this episode by touching on the time of year it is. And the time of year is when people going for jobs, if they've had one or more interviews, which usually happens to me, 2 interviews, 3 interviews, 5 interviews, this time is what we call a ghost town. Everyone's on vacation, and we're just waiting. It's really tough. It's really it's hypersensitized right now because of the situation people are in. And I just want to let everyone know, stay strong. The Liquor Lab's here for you. If you need anything, reach out to us. We're here to support you, not only in your entrepreneurial endeavors, but spiritually and emotionally. I've been through it. I've been down. I've been up. I've been through it all. So with that said, liquorlab.com, anything you need, reach out to us. We're there for you. It's a tough time of year. Now let's move on to the topic of episode 9, which is, does visualizing actually help manifest your goals? Earlier today, I did a little clip about my experience with a Rolex. I've always wanted a Rolex since I was a young kid. I remember seeing it in jewelry stores. I remember, I was in Aruba, and my dad and I would pose with Rolexes, and he got his eventually, and it was a great moment for me when he got his. I mean, he custom made it with actually a coworker of mine who had an account in the past, Fernando. He got custom stainless with white gold, concealed clasp, very key, with the crown lock, blue face, not something you usually find. Unbelievable watch. I've always wanted it, and like I said in the clip earlier today, I've wanted it. It really hit me when I was interning in New York City, and I would see this man on Long Island Railroad every day. He sat in front of me. On Long Island Railroad, you always sat in the same seats, especially if you got on the train from the station it originated at. In this case, as I said, Cold Spring Harbor. Pretty amazing, unbelievable. So it turns out that I really wanted this Rolex. My girlfriend was talking about visualizing. So I printed a picture of the Rolex that I wanted. It was a blue Submariner. After a little bit, after a few weeks, coworkers saying, "What's that?" I said, "You know what? This watch might be a little too expensive for me. Let me take it a step down. Oyster, Perpetual, no, actually it was a Jubilee, date just, gold and stainless, concealed clasp, crown lock, put it out there. Within 2.5 months, I actually got it. It was unbelievable feeling. I know Meek Mill says, like, when that Rolly first touched my wrist, it was an unbelievable feeling when I put that watch on. It was dope. It was dope. And not only that, but getting back to the visualization, is that first watch was always in my sight. And when I was looking for the first watch I got, well, the first watch I put in front of me and visualized was a blue Submariner with the stainless gold, with the gold and stainless. It's the first one I visualized. So when I was looking for the Rolex that cost less, the date just, Jubilee, gold, stainless, I put my name down for the one I wanted. And it's a rare one to get at that time. So sure enough, one weekend in April, I think it was Easter, I went into the Rolex dealer and I asked about the watch. I checked the inventory, it wasn't out, and I asked about the blue ceramic gold stainless. Sure enough, they had it. And sure enough, within an hour, it was on my wrist. And I ended up selling my old one. If you look at the art for this YouTube video, you will see both Rolexes. The one in the image, I'm looking at it right now. The one in the image at the top right is actually my first. And then the bottom left is my Submariner that I first put on my desk. I visualized it. Every day I worked, I was working towards this. Visualizing did manifest my goal to achieve this. And when you visualize and you want to achieve something that's not in your reach right now, everything's going to move up with you. So you're going to move up in possibly your job, because to get a Rolex, it's not cheap. You know, you want to print up, you want a pack of gum, it's not going to take that much. Your lifestyle isn't going to change to achieve this pack of gum. So I definitely set my sights high. I knew that if I achieved this and was able to purchase this item, a lot of other things would happen in my life. I printed, I visualized it, and not only did I get the watch that I was really focused on, but I got the first watch that I was focused on as well. And it was pretty amazing feeling. It's pretty amazing feeling to actually take those steps and achieve that, where I'm able to walk into a store and spend that money on that watch. This isn't the first time this has happened. It's actually, there was 2 times. I wanted a new car. I was always a BMW owner. When I moved to Queens in 2015, I put my car on Swap-A-Lease. www.swapalease.com. Especially if you have a BMW, they do all the work for you. They connect you with the someone who's going to assume your lease. Goes right through BMW Financial. I didn't have a car. Then when I started dating someone, I moved to New Jersey, and she had a Mercedes. It was beat up, and I was like, you know what? It's time for a new car. So I started shopping around for a car. And in this time, I had printed up on the fridge, I printed a picture of a white M3 4-door M3 competition BMW. White M3 competition BMW 4-door, because we had a 4-door at the time. Sure enough, a few months later, we end up getting a white 340i M Sport. The story doesn't stop there. Every day, I looked at this car on the refrigerator, and it was in my sight, it was in my psyche, it was in my conscious, it was in my subconscious. Lo and behold, I'm in Austin, Texas, and I read a report that it is confirmed that that the M4 and the 4 Series convertible is going away from the hardtop. So fast forward, rewind back. My favorite car, my ideal car of all time is a hardtop M4 convertible competition edition. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. The M4 competition convertible, hardtop convertible, my ideal car with all the trimmings, like all the fixins, all the options. As we say at Haberstad BMW with Dimitri Marissas, liquor certified. They call it Liquor Lab certified. That was my ideal car, my dream car. So I manifested through seeing this M3 every day, manifested, seeing it. It took me 2 steps, just like with the Rolex. I went from the white car that was on the board to the M4. It's all works out. I put it in my psyche. I put it in my mind that I want to achieve these things. And achieving these levels, all this great success, all these intangible successes come along with you getting a material thing. I mean, if you're getting a car, if you're buying a car, if you're able to buy an M4 convertible, it's a $92,000, almost $93,000 car. Things are going well in your career. Things are going well with you financially. Things are going well with you. So people might say, oh, intangible. Or, no, people might say, they're materialistic things. Yeah, but at the end of the day, in order for me to possess these materialistic things, I had to be doing well overall because I don't want to go into debt. I mean, you can, disclaimer, you can obtain these things and put yourself into serious debt. But I've been past all that serious debt stuff. So getting these and having a reasonable financial standing, you're going to have all the success. If you do it responsibly, these successes are going to come to you. You're going to get that car because you've had other successes. So there are my two stories about visualizing and obtaining. The Rolex one is a little more, I guess, heartfelt because I've been experiencing this since I was a kid, seeing a Rolex and going through that. The BMW thing, I guess if I elaborated a little more, my dad always had an M3 or an M4. He would never let me drive. He let me drive it once to Michael Muscari's wedding. I begged him. And not until my friend Rich talked to my dad and said, he's your son, you should let him use the car. I think that's what happened. Rich, if it's different, please comment below. I know you talked to him because you guys were talking. So he let me take the M4 coupe up to Michael Muscari's wedding. He let me drive it once. So there it is. So he's had these cars. I've always wanted these cars. He had the Rolex. But my dad and I didn't have that relationship where I really looked. I mean, no offense. He wasn't like my idol. I didn't really look up to him in that like idealistic, I want to grow up to be him. He's these things that I got to experience. And listen, he had the M4 when I wasn't living at home. He had the M3. He had the M3 convertible back when it was just an M3 for a coupe and 4-door. He had that, but I had just left for the city in 2000. I left the city in 2003 for the first time. So, yeah, it was really great. But again, seeing these things was pretty special. Printing these things out and seeing them in your conscious. And I want to do something different here on the Liquor Lab podcast for the first time is I want to give or provide a method. I want to provide some guidance. You know, in the past, I just give my stories and these 2 stories would be elaborate and I'd have these details about the experience and what it was for me. And you would be able to form your own opinions or form your own methods, build your own methods, or deal with your situation by applying some of the things from my experience and how I handle it and how I would handle it different to yours. I'm going to do something different. I've actually, if you look here, I've actually created, 7 steps or just 7 points about visualizing your your goals and ultimately leading to them manifesting. And the first item on the board is a visual board. I'm a very visual person. Sometimes when you hear visual board, especially from people on Instagram and all this, visual board, and it's like some cheesy board. My visual board was just going to the site, cropping it, and putting it on a Word and printing it and seeing it every day. That was my visual board. So however you need to see what you want and your goal, whether it's a degree, whether it's a New York address, whatever you need to do to get this in your face all the time, print it out. Some people have an elaborate board with everything they want in their life. Do what you need to do, but get your eyes on it. Eyes on the prize. And that goes right into number 2. See it every day. You need to see what you want to achieve. You need to see your goal every day. See it. See it. If it's a sales number, write it down. You want to sell $20 million in sales. This is out to Jared Licker. You want to achieve your sales goal and be top in the nation. What is it going to take? What is the number? Put it up there. You want to sell 40 cars in a month. Put 41 up on the board. Make yourself see it and bump into it every day. I don't suggest changing your wallpaper on your phone, because could you tell me what your wallpaper is on your phone? Is it really giving you a stir after the first few hours it's changed? No. It needs to be something in your face that you're noticing that's not out of place. If you put a Post-it on your monitor or you tape something to your computer, you're going to notice that. Number 3, you got to see it so much it's in your subconscious. For example, the first Rolex. I saw that first Rolex for a while. I saw it for a while and things weren't going as I planned, but I stepped back a little, but I still saw it. Subconscious and conscious. Like I said, you have to make sure you're bumping into this every single day. It's almost like John Taffer calls it a butt funnel, right? It is so people bump into each other. You need to bump into this goal every day, whether it's with your eyes, with your hands. Recognize it every single day. 4, move and work towards success. You have to keep it moving. You have to keep it moving. You have to build a path. So 4 and 5 is work, move forward, and build a path. You need to be on a path to something. You can't just say you want to succeed and not be moving in a forward direction. It can be a net forward direction, the net cost +5 -3, you're still moving forward 2 spots. +5, yeah, that math is right. So yeah, you need to be moving forward in a net positive direction, building this path. Like I always say, you can't start building a path to this final destination now. There's going to be other stops in the way. But what you see, build the path that leads in the direction. There will be other stops on the way. Trust me. 6, positive attitude. You need to be in touch with reality. For me to put that Rolex in front of myself, it was a reach at the time. For me to put that Beamer in front of me, it was a reach. But at the same time, that goal was attainable. It was reachable. So have a positive attitude and just no matter what happens, your net movement forward and your positive attitude will lead you in that right direction. Now, you also need to be in reality. So number 7, 6 was positive attitude. 7 is like 6A kind of reality. You have to be in touch with the reality on the ground. You need to understand that it's not going to be all one direction and all positive. You're going to have to learn how to take a setback in this progression. You're going to have to learn how to take a failure in this path you're building. So positive direction, positive attitude, and learn how to deal with failure, be in touch with the realities on the ground. You cannot mislead yourself. You're lying to yourself. You need to be able to deal with the lows and highs of the situation. And setbacks. Number 8 is setbacks. There will be setbacks. How you deal with them is going to pretty much decide, and it's going to be the ultimate outcome. It's going to influence the ultimate outcome of if you're able to manifest success or manifest these goals, how you deal with your setbacks. So the final advice is negative thoughts. You're going to think you can't do it. You're going to think that, I forget what this term is, that you're like a pretender or poser, even though you're good at something, that you might feel inside that you're a pretender or a poser or not good enough to do this. I remember getting a lot of heat from my coworkers about having the picture of the watch on on my desk. And it was a lot of negative thoughts. Can I do this? Is this realistic? Your own worst enemy and your biggest setback is going to be your mental setbacks. But you need to know how to deal with them. You need to know how to deal with not just the negative feedback from people, but how that negative feedback impacts your own thinking. So that's pretty much it on helping manifest your goals. I wanted to leave all the listeners, I guess it's 8 or 9 steps. I'm gonna review them one more time. But this is a process and some of the steps that I've taken to lay out something that I want to put in my conscious, that I want to drive through every day. And like I said, I think I have the picture. Yep. This is my next watch right here. And I've been looking at this every day for the last week. Printed it out. I'm seeing it. It's in my little man cave. It's on this desk. It's in my conscious. It's starting to get into my subconscious. When you start dreaming about it, that's when you know this is working. So let's go over the steps. Not in any order, but just they're kind of in sequential order, especially the first step is the one you really need to start with, but lay them out how you want. Let's go. So 1 is the visual board, print it out, however you want to put this in front of you, whether it's digitally, like physically print it, just make sure that it's not blending in, and moving right on to seeing it every day, make sure it's not blending in, seeing it every day. Put it in your conscious and subconscious. Like I said, I've started to have dreams about this watch. Not like dreams like, oh my God. It's just when I'm dreaming or I'm about to fall asleep, I see it. I see it in my subconscious. I see it in my conscious mind. Always move forward, building a path. Always moving forward, building a path. Positive attitude. Always net mover. You're a net mover moving forward no matter what. Know the realities on the ground. Know your reality. You don't want to put a 500-foot yacht yet. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying, you put a 500-foot yacht and you're not making major moves to get this 500-foot yacht. Your actions have to be in touch with reality of what you want. If you put a 500-foot yacht up there and you play the lotto every day, God bless you. I mean, what can I say? You're trying for that yacht, but just be in touch with reality. Setbacks and negative thoughts. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have negative thoughts. This is where you will be able to prove that you could achieve and you could manifest by dealing with these thoughts, by how you are able to keep moving forward, keep progressing in that direction. So that's pretty much it on that's pretty much all I got today. Visualizing and manifesting your goals. It's worked for me. It continues to work for me. Like I said, it's a real challenge when you have negative thoughts and people fighting against you. It's how you deal with that makes or breaks this process. You just got to keep believing, keep moving forward, and if you set your goals on a materialistic thing that you're willing to achieve without going into debt, because you can get that loan or whatever it is. If you want to get this without really sacrificing your financial future, and you really want to get it through achievement, whether that's career, professional, personal, whatever it is that you're able to get that materialistic thing, or even a degree. Like I said, it doesn't just have to be a thing you have as a possession. You could have the 40 deliveries a month or 8 million for the year that you want to break the sales record. Put it in front of you. Get it in your eyes. Don't make it blend in. Put it out there. And the rest is up to you. You just got to keep on having that break your routine, and you will manifest all your success. Just believe in yourself, and the rest will be history. Then you have to go back to the drawing board, print up that new item, print up the next sales goal for my cousin, my cousin Jared. He probably has to set up a new number after he breaks his sales record. So it's all about setting that new goal too. You have to be ready to set the new goal and start the same process over again. Because if it is working for you, you have to keep focused and you have to keep moving forward. So I want to thank you for listening to this episode of the Liquor Lab podcast. Does visualizing actually help manifest your goals? I appreciate all the downloads. Thank you so much. LiquorLab.com for everything. And again, this is a tough week for anyone who's out of work and has things in the mix or is applying for jobs. Usually everyone's on vacation. All the employers are on vacation. I was pretty much told there's nothing going on until the new year. So we're with you. We're here to support you. Anything you need, LiquorLab.com. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You search Liquor Lab and hit the subscribe button. All of our content is up there. Clips from the podcast, videos, Liquor Lab Live. All the content we ever produce hits YouTube first. So don't forget to subscribe. You could actually go to liquorlab.com and subscribe also by clicking the YouTube icon in the icons bar with all of our social information, all the social icons. So thank you for listening to this episode of the Liquor Lab podcast. And remember, liquorlab.com, liquorlab.com, liquorlab.com.